Okay, in this video, we are going to go through how the compare precedent function works in AI Legal Assistant. So you'll notice that I've just uploaded two different transitional service agreements that are the same document, but there's been a number of changes to them. So what we're going to do for this demonstration is I'll show you the two different files. This one on the left-hand side is this one here, and the one on the right-hand side is the other one. So the first thing that you'll see is we've got some red text here. We've just randomly deleted some text and I've made it red. There's no markup on it. I've just made it red to say that I've deleted it from the document on the right-hand side. So what we're going to do is we're going to click into this document. First, what we're going to do is go up to Multidoc and turn that on. And then let's find our folder. Our folder is Compare, and you can see that we've got that document there. I'll also select the document that we're in and click on Done. So now if we go over to Review and click on Compare Precedent, we can choose which one is our precedent and which one is the other document. I'm just going to reverse these because my precedent is this one here, which is the one that was on the left. Now you'll notice under Compare Precedent, we've got a number of different things here. So what we can do is we can click on missing clauses as an example. What that's going to do is it's going to find missing clauses in the other document that are in the My Precedent one. So if something is being removed from this document, it's going to pick it up because I have selected missing clauses. So let's let that run. We've got our results back. Let's have a look. So what it's saying is D, the disclosing party identifies as confidential at the time of disclosure, is missing from the document. So let's look here, which the disclosing party identifies as confidential at the time of disclosure. So let's have a look. Is it missing from this one here? If we look at 1.1, let's put them side by side. You can see that confidential information clause D has been removed out of this document. That's why we've made it red here. Let's look at the next one. So this one's saying the share purchase agreement means the share purchase agreement between. Let's look this up. Share purchase agreement means the share purchase agreement between and others. So that has been removed as well out of this document. You can see that it's not in here, so it should be above the third party and it's not in here. Impact on 1.2 AXX, 1.2 AXX. You can see here that we removed one after there and it's picked up on that as well. I could keep going through these, but I won't for now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a different comparison this time. I'm going to look for additional clauses. So additional clauses is similar, except so we've put in this green text here, which has been added to the documents. So if we look at under operative provisions, right, if we put them side by side, you can see that this does not appear in the precedent document. So we would expect that to come up. Let's go and have a look. Here we go. 1.1 completion. The incoming document contains significantly expanded definitions of completion. That's correct. It does significantly expand it. So completion means a successful finalization of the sale of the transfer of the sales securities by the seller. Let's have a look at that. It means successful finalization of the sale and the transfer of the sale of the securities. That's exactly what it's picked up on there. So let's see what it says next. Intellectual property rights, definition of 1.1. So here we go, intellectual property rights. So it's picked up on the fact that this is not in this original document. So what you can see is we had intellectual property rights in the precedent. In the other document, we have it, but what we have is a significantly different definition of the intellectual property rights. And so it's picked up on the fact that these additions have been added to the other document. If we go back up here, we can look at any unfavorable terms that are in the incoming document that are not in the precedent document. So if I click on that, then we click on Advanced and we can select who we are representing. I always put the name of the entity and the role that they are playing. The seller is what they're called. And then we click Analyze. So again, it's going to compare both documents and it's going to find things that are in the incoming document that are not in the precedent document that are not favorable to the seller. So you can see that we've got our unfavorable trails back here. And so it's saying that the completion means the completion is sale. So let's look at our documents again and see the completion. So it's going to be in this document here. As you can see, this completion clause is much more onerous on the seller than it is on the buyer. So you can see that it's picked up on that there, and it says the incoming document expands on the definition of completion to include specific requirements that must be met, which creates additional obligations for the seller before completion can be deemed to have occurred. So it's picked up on the fact that it's less favorable to the seller in the incoming document. Let's have a look at another one. There's wait for copyrights again. We saw that one earlier, it's another example. But the intellectual property rights are much more detailed and onerous on the seller than they were in the original document. So it's picked up again on those. So if we go back and have a look what has the AI actually said here, it said that the incoming document expands on the definition to include additional specific types of intellectual property rights, which particularly moral rights and performance rights, which broadens the scope of the IP rights the seller must protect and maintain. This creates additional obligations and potential liabilities for the seller. So again, it's picked up on the fact that these are more onerous on the seller, which is the position that we wanted it to take. With all of these tiles, you have the ability to have the AI write directly into the document here. So if I'm in the precedent document and I would like to update that, I could simply have the AI write it, because have the AI write something similar into this document, or if I was updating my precedent looking at some other ones, then I could do that as well. If I simply click on the write it, I could create a task for someone to follow up on this. I can add a comment to the document, and all my bulk functions are up here. So if I want to write all of the things that it's come up with, it will write all of them. If I want to create tasks for them all, I can. If I want to copy them all to my clipboard, I can. And if I want to insert all of these into the document for some reason, then I could also do that. And you'll see that I've got my impact filter there as well.